adofo ne etie fo amohwe me da mu na amase ngiri se obadaroma ho ye se de meso me ho ye ade achi bem de na de bia ne emu nsensem nsem foforo na de bia edi akoniaba nsem a emu do etifo ebentuma gibre ne nkuti nsem a eden agi ne ho me na emra.
My friend and brother John Dramani Mahama has been talking about kinky. I am a brutal kinky eater. Now let me do the kinky before I come to the WASI results and the analysis. I'll do the free SHS in a minute. I'm a brutal kinky eater, you know. So when President Mahama talked about the kinky, I was quite excited about the story. Do you have the kinky story? Yeah, they do. Okay. Should we be reading something first or should we be watching the video first? We should be reading something first. I think, yes, great. That's where it is. So this is a flyer that pop out. XYZ online, they say. I don't know whether President Mahama really said that. The title says John Mahama attacks gangs in Accra. He wasn't really attacking gangs. He was talking to them. He says, as for you gangs, you only like kinky, fish and pepper. That is the most important thing for you. And Baumia is talking about digitalization. You can't have digital kinky. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what he said. This is the video of what has been reported as something John Dramani Mahama said. Have a look.
I can digitalize coming here. The word digitalization over here. See, like Dromo he war, or ye digital kinky, or your coming date, Casito, Paquisito, Kakina, no defense, or ye digital kinky. No track, I can digital labor for any coming in. The word digitalization over here. See, like Dromo he war, or ye digital kinky, or your coming date, Casito, Paquisito, Kakina, no defense.
What should I say about this? I don't know what to say. President Mahama, you see, I think that he was joking. I really believe that he was joking. But it's 2 months to election. It's a close election. People want to hear what the candidate has for them. I think that his team should not have positioned him in a manner to be joking, because everything he says will be recorded. It's on people's phones, it's on camera, and people are going to look at it and believe that that is his policy line. He didn't preface his joke by saying that this is a joke, take it out. But digitalization is what the opposition to him, that's Baumia, campaigning on. The opposition to John Mahama is Baumia. Baumia is campaigning on digitalization, that digitalization is going to change Ghanaian lives. It has started changing Ghanaian people's lives, and it's going to change Ghanaian lives. That's his mantra. That is one of his key points of his campaign. President Mahama is doing the rebuttal. And in the rebuttal, he's talking to a group of young Ghanaian people, and he's telling them that what you want is kinky, it's not digitalization. I think that's not good. I really think that's not good. On a very, very serious note, I believe it was a joke, but these are not the jokes that are allowed. Digitalization is a policy that is necessary for the country. It doesn't have to be Dr. Baumia doing it. Any political party that wins power must be interested in digitalization for the future of Ghanaian people. If Dr. Baumia is driving the digitalization agenda, he may not be the best person to do it. NDC must tell us that they can drive the digitalization agenda better than what John Mahama, than what Dr. Baumia is doing. This is what I've been fighting for. Let's have an election cycle where both parties are thinking really hard and giving Ghanaians solutions that you don't even know which one to choose, because you have best and best. You don't have bad and good. You have best and best. And then you pick out of it. That's the only way that a developing country can develop. But if you have one of the groups, a huge part of it, the NDC, and this is the kind of campaign that is coming out of the presidential candidate of the NDC, a very decent gentleman who has been president of Ghana before, I do not find this laughable. I do not find this funny. How can this be funny? The president of Ghana, former president of Ghana, campaigning to be a president in 2024, 24 years after the turn of the 21st century, is talking about comparing digitalization to eating kinky, which is my favorite food. And you say that the kinky eating, because Ghana people eat kinky, they do not need digitalization. It's really, really, really bad. That's all I can say. It's horrendous for a presidential candidate 2 months to election asking people to elect me to joke with them and say that it is kinky that you want. Kinky cannot be digitalized. So forget about the digitalization he's talking about. Let's eat our kinky, and you laugh it off and you get away with it. That's the campaign that you do to young people in 2024, 24 years after the turn of the 21st century. Anybody who was around that presidential candidate, who is part of the workings of that presidential candidate, has done Ghana a disservice. Any individual who is around President Mahama, who was aware about this and who was there and has since not raised an issue about it, has done Ghana a disservice. Nature will query you about it. That if you have a position to influence leadership for children who are not yet born, for children who are wallowing in poverty, we are looking for a leader who can turn around the Ghanaian resources and make sure that somebody has done free SHS. Me too, I'll come and do something else for the young Ghanaian people so that at least their education and housing is guaranteed. Akufo-Addo has guaranteed education. I will guarantee their housing. We don't hear that kind of mantra coming out of the opposition that we are going to guarantee your housing. Akufo-Addo has done education, we'll do your transport. Akufo-Addo has done education, we'll do your water. We are not hearing things like that. And what we are hearing from the opposition, who should be giving hope to the citizens, telling us that kinky cannot be digitalized and therefore digitalization is not important. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I don't know what to say about this because you are talking about important people. So you always have to be careful the words that you use. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know. All I can say is that those people who are doing these things, they should remember that nature is going to judge them because they are doing a disservice to Ghana. They are doing a disservice to Ghana. See in politics, and immediately we think that then they've given money. So as soon as whilst we're talking about a number, there also came Bulldog, the other guy, Bulldog. Bulldog said that there's no reason why anybody should vote for any other candidate other than John Dramani Mahama. Nobody should attack him for that. That is his view of the matter. Bulldog is not a frontline politician. Nana Abba is not a frontline politician. I am a frontline politician. You can say that about me. I mean, other journalists who are doing frontline political journalism, you can say that about us. But when somebody is just a newsreader or current affairs person, socialite who is just concerned about the country and says that I like what this one said, hey, then especially when she's a woman, then they have to say she's Ashao. I mean, that thing, it irks me so much. What is that? A woman talks something is Ashao. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's hear what Muhammadu Bawumia said about Galamsey. This is what he said.
We are trying to always chase people, but we are not trying to prevent it happening in the first place. So one needs to look at the whole regime of small-scale mining and sanitize that regime, regularize the regime, make sure that the Geological Survey, the authority of Ghana, number one, does the mapping for where all the gold reserves are. At the moment, people are just doing trial and error, destroying our environment. There is no data backing where they go. They just go and dig, they don't find, they go to the next place and start digging, they don't find, they go to the next place. But I want us to set up community mining schemes with certainty from Geological Survey Department that here you have gold. We are trying to always chase people, but we are not trying to prevent it happening in the first place. So one needs to look at the whole regime of small-scale mining and sanitize that regime, regularize the regime, make sure that the Geological Survey, the authority of Ghana, number one, does the mapping for where all the gold reserves are. At the moment, people are just doing trial and error, destroying our environment. There is no data backing where they go. They just go and dig, they don't find, they go to the next place and start digging, they don't find, they go to the next place. But I want us to set up community mining schemes with certainty from Geological Survey Department that here you have gold.
Let's break down what Dr. Bawumia said. Sorry, they are rebooting my screen. It's going to come up very soon. Let's break down what Dr. Bawumia said, okay? So the mining regime has one level called prospecting. Prospecting means that I go to the Minerals Commission and I say I want to prospect for minerals. And if I find the minerals, I come back and report to the Minerals Commission and I'm told how to go about it. Now, this prospecting permits me to take equipment into forest areas, whichever area, and then start digging. The allegation is that it is this prospecting, the gaps around the prospecting, the loophole around the prospecting, the lack of tight legal regime around the prospecting license is what has occasioned this Galamsey business. Mahama Bawumia is saying that take out prospecting. No, we are no longer going to do prospecting. The Geological Institute of Ghana must itself find money and do the prospecting and identify gold in places so that when you come to apply, you're applying for the gold at Kwamo. So if you are given license to go and mine the gold at Kwamo, then when there's Galamsey occurring in Kwamo, they know that it's Adom and Akonta Mining who are in Kwamo, and it is their fault why the water at Kwamo is getting bad. So we know who to identify. If you continue doing this prospecting license, where you come and license me, that I should go and prospect for gold in Tikrum or Fumesa, and I go there and I'm prospecting, I start prospecting from Tikrum, then I cross into Fumesa, then I'm in Jachi. And then you come and tell me that it is Galamsey. I'll say, oh no, I'm not the one. It is Akonta Mining who are doing the Jachi one. It's not me. Or it's not my boys. It's this guy's boys. It creates a certain loophole, a certain wide area, a gray area where you cannot actually hold responsibility onto certain people. So what he's saying is that let's cut out prospecting. Let geological do the prospecting. The reason why we allow them to do the prospecting, it costs a bit of money. So they are going to spend their own money and we will know that there's gold here, and they give government percentage and royalties and all of that. So it was kind of good to make government sit pretty and let people spend their money. But he's saying that government should spend that money. And his point is that we are always trying to change people instead of changing the circumstance. That's really what he's saying. Play Mahama Bawumia again, and then we can get the facts right. Play it again, and we come to the rest of the story.
We are trying to always chase people, but we are not trying to prevent it happening in the first place. So one needs to look at the whole regime of small-scale mining and sanitize that regime, regularize the regime, make sure that the Geological Survey, the authority of Ghana, number one, does the mapping for where all the gold reserves are. At the moment, people are just doing trial and error, destroying our environment. There is no data backing where they go. They just go and dig, they don't find, they go to the next place and start digging, they don't find, they go to the next place. But I want us to set up community mining schemes with certainty from Geological Survey Department that here you have gold.
So, upon this explanation, media covered it. And then Lanaba Namoa here says that I just listened to Dr. Bawumia's remarks on Galamsey. Glad he's finally commented on the menace. His solution is the most practical one I've heard so far. I hope he walks the talk if he gets the mandate. And what's wrong with this? What is so wrong with this? She's not saying vote for Bawumia. She's not saying that. She's just saying that I've heard his solution. I think it's one of the best. If you have a solution, you can tell her that no. This solution is useless. Listen to what he's saying. It's not workable. It's not practical. How can surveyors do that? Has he checked the amount of money? You can say all that. And then present your solution as well to the general public. But if he says that his solution is the most practical one I've heard, and he says, I hope he walks the talk if he gets the mandate. This looks like a neutral talking. He's not saying that vote for Bawumia. He's not saying that when he gets the mandate. He says if. The difference in when and if is that when means that I am certain that he'll get it. If means that I don't know whether he'll get it. So if she says, if he gets the mandate, come and see the way the people were fighting her. Do you have some of it? Yeah, there's some of it. This one, Abner Friye tells her that, dear Nanaba, I know you've got all the answers when it comes to Bawumia's practical solutions, but have you tried applying them to your own love life? I mean, Abner Friye, you should be ashamed of yourself. Abner, you're a woman. You are a woman. You should be ashamed of yourself. Abana Efri. You are a woman. A woman who has managed to rise to a certain occasion and a certain level is indicating her views because she's public. She has millions of followers. She's indicating her views about the menace that we are all talking about, that this politician has said something that I think makes sense. She's not saying that that's the only solution. She's not comparing the politician's solution to another politician because another politician hasn't said anything. The another one hasn't said anything. And another one too hasn't said anything. The other one too hasn't said anything. It's only one person who has said something. And he said that this thing that Dr. Bawumia has said, for me, it looks like it makes sense. You two bring your solution, then you tell her that she should apply the Galamsey solution, which is to say that there's no prospecting to her love life. Really? She should apply it to her love life. Galamsey prospecting and love life. You can say that because you just want to say something. Because you think that she said something positive about Dr. Bawumia, so you are angry. This is what worries me. This is not how to fight politics. If somebody says something, you have to bring your something. And so that we compare the two somethings and make a determination of where we are. This issue about as soon as somebody who is neutral, even Father Campbell, they've been insulting him. Even Father Campbell, that he's going to say that Akufo-Addo is good.